Hey guys, so let's the session started, and of course, first let's wait for everyone to come. I think uh, everyone coming live right now. Okay, Chicago engineer, really waiting for much excitement. Yeah, today is the you can say the opening of the entire around 8 month long course, and I'll be taking you through what I'm going to discuss. But just let other join. Okay, I hope you get some. Okay, hey Harish, sorry, Harsh. I think yeah, everyone joining. Okay, now let me start explaining about the course that we're going to go through. And of course, any question you might have in your mind, do feel free to let me know. Salve productivity. For sure. Okay. Good morning, Azar. Hey, Somo. So, yeah, I think everyone joining. Zoom कर दो sir please. Okay, okay, let me zoom. Oh, ऐसे zoom कर सकते हैं और भी. Okay, we can zoom like this, so no worries. I'll go through everything. Okay. एक question. I mean, one question is very common. Is it free or paid? So there is both plan. I'll be discussing about what I mean. There is paid plan will be running and there is free plan. So I'll explain everything. Just be patient. I think everyone joined. I think how many people are live right now? Yeah, 30 people is live. I think that's good enough to get started. Okay, so in this plan, it's an 8 months long plan, and we'll start from exact. I mean, I will assume that you know nothing about the tech, you know nothing about the cloud, you know nothing about programming, nothing. I accept zero. Okay, so that's the point I'm going to start, and what is my approach to get started? So first thing is that there will be theory, of course, but there will be bit catch every time. Suppose I explain a theory, there will be some kind of either diagram or some practical. Otherwise, people tend to forget. And I think one of the you can say I'm that kind of person who forget if I don't use that technology or I don't see in front of mine. Okay, so there's a reason. There will be a lot of practicals, lot of diagrams and everything. I'm preparing like very detailed things, so it's going to be exciting one. And okay, so how much is free or how much is paid? So see, content wise, it will be more or less same. Okay, what is the difference in the paid? Because for example, I cannot say go and help in every individual like thousands of people, right? You guys said the thousands, right? What I think our channel grow 23,000. That's not a joke, and I'm kind of overjoyed with that. Now the thing is that it's not possible to help everyone out there personally. So with the paid course, you will see that it will be a personal approach. So anyone having any problem in say any part and want my direct, the mentorship and all that, for them this is a paid one. So I can individually help that person out. But in the free one, there is you understand I cannot help everybody. So I will post content, I will post explanation everything, but it's not possible to help individually. So that's the only difference. In the paid plan, it will be more of a direct. I'll of course the crowd will be also so so yes, there is the this is the main tip, I understand. So but yeah, I mean this is the main difference. Okay, I think why is that very okay. So that's the main difference. Paid slot was only 10. That's all failed. So no, I cannot do anything there. And the days of the class. So in the Saturday, it will be paid classes. It will be like 11 a.m. for every Saturday. And for the free classes, it will be Sunday via this YouTube channel. Okay. Again, I'm saying content wise, it will be more or less same. Only main difference is the mentorship the paid person will get. Like, for example, uh, Harish is a paid member. At least will get it, for example. So yeah, okay. So after this, I mean, this was a big confusion among many. I think that's now settled. More of a less, this is the like personal approach for the paid members for free. It's via this channel, comment section and all. Okay. And of course, the paid members will have a separate Zoom call. I mean, in via Zoom, I will teach them, and for the free, it will be via my YouTube channel. So this is the main differences. I know many was asking. Now, again, without further delay, let's start about the course content. I think that's the more important. Now, I have actually made a detailed one, but uh, if I do share the detailed one, everyone will say why we didn't share the previously. So I will try to explain why this only. On the first class, we will get a detailed that course content because it will be a PDF. So I will share it anyway. So don't worry. Now let's understand why the diagram I shared at the initial stage. What I mean by all this. Okay. So this is where today we are today. Okay. The intro, get to know, goals, prerequisite, span, all that is I'm explaining. This is the first week, and next week on the Saturday and Sunday, what will be our points? So basic compute, storage, networking, security, basic Linux scripting. So in the first day, it is a 4 week plan. You can see there, span is 4 weeks. So next, full January is going to be that. So basic compute. Why I'm even see this is this four you see compute, storage, networking, security. These are the pillars. If you don't have solid basic understanding over this, it will be very hard to understand the next things that I'm going to explain. Because suppose I say, hey, you create a compute instance. I mean, you'll in mind, what the hell is a compute instance? Similar way, if I say create a networking, create VPC. Okay, you can create VPC, but if you don't know the basic networking, then creating VPC is like a make a ratta and just how to build it and do it. But you have to understand what exactly it is, why you're building it, of course how to build it, right? So that's the reason. Okay. Storage part. Now see, many now know the basic computing. In my time, I was at that time, no, when I was learning computer long back, there was not that much people aware of computers. Now I think it's more and more people is there. Now now they know the storage. Okay, this storage kind of equivalent to your local disk, like where you store your contents, your images, pictures, videos, and all that, right? Now what is going to be different here? It's about the now it's cloud storage, more of a cloud storage. It's more of a distributed storage, right? It's no more that you can not only can store on local computer, you can store contents in anywhere in the world. Okay, you have that leverage. So those kind of things, like what kind of storage are out there, what kind of storage you can use. You can run your OS or just use a blob storage, or you can run your temporary storage. There are different kind of storage. Okay, you need to understand every bit of storage because that is required to know as a cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, or as a programmer. You need to know all this. So that's why it's also very required to understand the code storage principles, and of course the use cases. And because in the cloud you will see a lot of use cases. I mean, we are living in an age right now that where you can host a static website in from the S3 or maybe other blob storages, right? And those kind of issues are there. So you need to understand all that from the very basics. That's why compute is absolutely necessary, because you need to understand what kind of compute, what are the like CPU parameters, what are the graviton, what are the CPU next generation CPUs. Like there are many things to understand the CPU architectures, because I think many might just get started. Okay, and then okay, you create a say Docker build or maybe another build or for anything. You created for a particular CPU version. I mean CPU chip architecture, and you going to run in another OS, and that's not working or not running for any reason, and you will start wondering why it's not working. And I don't want that to happen. I want to make sure you understand exactly what is the chip architecture, exactly how, like, what target to build and how to deploy. Everything I want to cover. That's why it's very important to understand the chip architecture and everything. That's why basic compute is absolutely necessary. No skipping. I will say, who is like, there might be many people who think that okay, I know the basic compute, I know the basic storage, I know the networking, but the things that I'm going to teach, it's going to be a different kind of thing that you normally see, like not the bookish way, because it's more of a practical that we as a DevOps engineer we face. Like I remember that just maybe 8 months back when I made a build for a 1 MacBook, and I wanted to run that Docker image in the normal IoT, and that didn't work. That apps didn't work. Oh, then because I know about the architecture. Okay, there's some I saw the logs, I see the chip architecture is getting different. That's why this error happening. I quickly find out, like search. Of course, we do search in Stack Overflow. I search about it. I found a solution. I made a build, and that's working. But if you don't know why these are the things that there are differences and all that, you find problem, right? So that's why it's absolutely necessary. One is Harsh Ranjan saying that please add some. Okay, this comment I will actually make it bigger. I think. Okay, now you see. See, the reason I cannot add more people to the paid version is the reason. Let me make this video section actually go a bit up. Okay, otherwise you cannot see the content directly. So the reason I cannot make add more at people, because I am working on normal projects. Normal, say our my see my what is my source of knowledge? Mainly I work on hands-on client projects, the production projects. That's why I have a practical experience. If I only do training, I think I will be lacking. That's my understanding or my feel that I will lack the practical knowledge or the real world knowledge. That's why I'm never gonna leave the practical this kind of work client projects. So if I do client projects, I have less time, and in the less time I can only accommodate this kind of this many people. That's why the limited is. I mean, the seats are limited for now at least. In future, I will see based on feedbacks, based on the infrastructure that I'm kind of developing. So then I might add more people, but for now it's maximum 10 people, and I'm sorry, but that's what the best I can do. Anyway, I mean, I'm sharing all the content, teaching free all the contents, right? And I'm going to support, like, give answer as many, say after the session is done, 2-3 hours maybe, each session going to be 2-3 hours. Okay, that's the average you can say. And anyone have any doubts and everything, at the end there will be 15 minutes to 20 minutes or maybe 30 minutes extra time where I'll be answering all the doubts, okay, for the free one. Paid one is all filled up, okay, and not to talk, then you have to understand that, okay. I know many was asking, so yeah, but don't worry. Next, if you guys interested, anyone interested in the paid one, do let me know, and in next one you might get a chance. But in that time, I think you will be in a very good position than before. Okay, so yeah, I covered the base why you need to understand the compute and storage. Now networking part also the same reason, and people actually when I talk with anyone in the cloud industry, and I talk about them like, what was your most difficult part? They say about networking, and so I ask them why, because they didn't understand the networking well, and if I go deep into their understanding and all that, I think what is the problem. I understand their basics is very strong. They tried, of course, but they somehow not able to grasp the networking part. Okay. Anyway, I do have a free networking course in my channel if you guys want to see. That's a very detailed one. This one going to be different because this is the one that I'm going to cover in this course is exactly spotted towards the cloud and DevOps specific. So it might not be a very core basics, but it is whatever is required to get up and running in the cloud and DevOps world. That much I will teach. Okay. Same security also. Now, before going to security, why the networking is important? I think I missed that part. So networking, any traffic is coming out of the, like, you say you are just think about you have your local computer, right? And to communicate with the outer world, you need networking. You need a solid networking to download the movies. You need solid networking to make requests to the lot of websites. Like, you are browsing, right? Ultimately, you are requesting a content from a website. So if you don't have a network or internet in general, you cannot access all the contents that is available worldwide, right? So that is where the networking things coming in picture. You are using actually a networking day-to-day basis, every single second, minute that you are online, okay? But you don't know how the things works, how exactly a DNS work, and that's very crucial. If you don't know how a DNS works, then it will be very tough for you as a cloud and DevOps engineer or a programmer in general, okay? Because as a programmer also, you may have to work with DNS libraries or some IP address matching. A lot of use cases are there, right? So networking is, that's why very important. And networking, not just, I mean, it's not about downloading content. It's also about whom you're allowing access. So if you have a website, or say you have an API, if you have as an intra API or internal API, then only the internal IPs are going to be the one who is going to be utilizing the services, not the outer internet. Same in the same time, if you have a application that is is interacting with the internet or outer world. So if you have a website, and of course everyone from the world is coming and interacting with the website. Okay, now what will happen? A hacker trying to hack your, like, not a hacker but attacking, making a DDoS attack. What will happen in those cases? Your site resources, your might be site running in a, say, normal instances, or maybe there is a usage limit that's getting utilized very quickly. What to do in those cases? You have to add restriction, like certain IP should be blocked, or certain, there should be conditions and all that. So this all, like, everything is a part of networking, and you have to understand how to manipulate the networking configuration. So that's why everything is required. And of course the next part is coming, security. So security is what? Security about securing your compute, securing your storage, securing your networking, and securing your all and every resources that's crucial to your business. Like suppose you're working for a health startup. Okay, and for a health startup, okay, it's HIPAAs are there, a lot of big you can say protocols are there. And anyhow, if some data, somehow someone hacking, okay, that company's existence is getting questioned. So understand about that, sometimes the data is so crucial, or it cannot be breached. There is a zero tolerance. Okay, so security is now, previously it was ignorance. I think many people, even I also, if you say 4 or 5 years back, I also say ignoring many security things. Okay, then some, like, you are not that aware of security, you don't know the rate limiting, you don't know the IP blocking, you don't know there is network flow is there, you can block certain IPs and all that, or maybe entire networking and all that. So those I was unaware, because I, at that time, I didn't have the requirement. Then what happens? A hacker tried to hack a website, make a DDoS attack. The moment they made a DDoS attack, there is a requirement came, we need to protect our website. I need to research about the DDoS attacks. I'm talking about 4 or 5 years back, where I don't had any experience on this security. Requirement came, then I implemented rate limiting, header checking, strict cross forensing and all that. There is I think firewalls configuration I had to update. So many things I did, because I suddenly, I mean, our application suddenly hit by this security attack. So everyone is ignorant till they hit it. But I think a good DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, or programmer should build the application such a way that it's secured by its design itself. Okay, so those things will be covering how to make that kind of solid security infrastructure. In I mean, there are cloud security, there are application security, and I need everyone to understand both is crucially important. You have very solid cloud security, but your application is kind of very bad, then there is no meaning of solid cloud security, because the application also has to be strong. Similar way, application has a strong security. Same way, clouds are, you have security option. Of course, some are free, some are paid. So based on your need, you have to adapt to those kind of tools. There are open source as well. So you need to adapt those tools and implement for your or integrate for your application. Okay, so that's why security is very important, to make your make sure your application secure, not just about the external attacks, but make sure your application coding, the library you're utilizing, that also have a sufficient checking is there. Maybe for example, you have a Docker image, and most probably what happens, that if you have a Docker image, and many, they just use the as any base image, and then they build the logic. They never research about the base image itself have some vulnerabilities or not, or any issues, any problems, maybe some like deep DDoS attack be hiding behind the codes. So now these days you have tools, they will scan through all your Docker layers and everything, like all the Docker you can say configuration image, base images, everything they will scan, and they will find out, okay, what are the problems, and they will even suggest what base image you should use, what are the kind of say libraries, or function, or say script you have to execute to make sure the application or your OS is secure. Means you can patch all this. Okay, so those things now you have ability, but you need to understand, like, you need to at least know those things are there and have to use it. If you're not even aware about that, how you can, like, do anything, right? So that's why basic compute, storage, networking security is absolutely required. Some might think that they can skip it, but if you ask me, I will not suggest to skip it. Okay, so make sure you stay with that. Okay, it's very important. And now the next part is that basic Linux and shell scripting. There is in day-to-day basis we use shell scripting for our deploy CI/CD application deployments. Anything we do, very basic start actually happen with the Linux and shell scripting. So even the build, suppose you generate the builds, there are numerous shell scripting running to make a build, to make a final deployable or runnable build of application. That many might not know, but you'll know why this course anywhere. If you are already in a thing, you're working as a cloud engineer or as a programmer, you know the requirements. You have to use shell scripting, either use directly or behind some other tools. So you are using, that's certain. Okay, that's why strong basis is very required, and I want you guys to understand very well. I'm going to describe very details, like I will start from the very basic scripting. Okay, like how to understand what commands, what does all that is, documentation, how to first like run the normal ls command, scp command, user adding, shutting down, all those, like those are the basic, or rebooting, all those, like, those are very pretty basic. From there to programming, suppose you want to run loops, you want to run conditional switch cases, you want to run, like, do real stuff like adding dynamic user, removing dynamic user, maybe finding out the last TDY times and all that. So everything I'm going to cover. That's why the shell scripting also very important. This shell scripting knowledge is going to help you in the CI/CD phases. Okay, not just CI/CD. Whatever you're going to do in this course from the second month onwards, this basics for the compute, storage, networking, security, plus this Linux and shell scripting going to help you. And I don't have to tell you guys that I think more than 90% servers are Linux running in the cloud. So yeah, there is Windows requirement, but to be honest, I don't use Windows myself. So, and I don't work with much of Windows computer. But if anyone want something in Windows to be running and all, I might do a session at the very end of this course, maybe after 8-9 months, not now. Basics in our, like, most of the servers are Linux, so my main focus, or maybe in the demos also I show, it will be Linux only. Okay, so that I wanted to cover. Now let's see. So this is the strong basics I'm going to cover. If anyone have any questions, do feel free to ask me any kind of question. Suppose you want to ask me any command that you want me to cover, I will tell you I'm going to cover or not that one. Feel free to ask. I mean, this is an intro session. This is a Q&A session. So you have the leverage to even add topics. Suppose you want, I maybe maybe it's already in the course, but I'm not going to discuss today. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, and I will tell you that is there or not. So this is the time if you have any question in your mind, like this question. So please share your experience in monitoring ELK stack. I want to cover the ELK stack in the while I'm going to, like, there will be a project on ELK for the Kubernetes chapter. When I'm going to start the Kubernetes, in which one I'm going to start the Kubernetes, there will be a project on ELK, right? And this ELK actually many asked, and I thought of doing separate course, but then thought, okay, this course will also have this ELK stack, so let's merge it. So in this when I have the Kubernetes, right, here, so container string Kubernetes, there I'm going to, as a project, you will have the ELK stack. So even using help, you can, like, I'll first cover basic stuff. Using Helm also, you can make speed of that thing. So normally using Helm, I will show both way. But anyway, that's come later on when I'm going to come there. So that is the strong basics part. I think, hope you guys understand what I'm going to cover. Now, after the first month is done, mainly the strong basics. Then in the second month, of course, in this also there is a project in the last week. I will give you the project. You guys should be doing that. It will be mainly dynamically user adding, and then giving, like, adding access and removing the access, all those. Okay, using sudos and all that. There is a full project I have, so I will be giving that. But yeah, I'm going to explore, share more on that while we go through this chapter. One very good question, that the difference between the cloud and DevOps. These are, okay, the cloud itself is a vast, DevOps is a vast. So in the cloud, mainly what? There are cloud services, that you're going to run your application inside some isolated infrastructure. That's you can add networking, add storage, and all that kind of stuff. So mainly, if someone asks me like what is a cloud, you there are multiple use cases in general, but it's something like where you can get additional resources or resources in general. You're going to run your applications there. You're going to leverage for you like whatever you require. Normally what happen, you run in your computer, right? Any application for localhost and all that, those kind of thing you can run in the cloud. But also very good example that you cannot run a website or like which will be available 24 into 7 in your local computer. You have to run somewhere. The answer is the cloud. You can run your application solution in the cloud where it will be running 24 into 7, and you could be in a model of like pay as you go. So you'll be paying for say compute, EC2s, or maybe like a machines you're going to hiding remote machines. So those you have to pay for. Either you pay for it all advance, that could be giving you discount up to 90%, or you can go like I'll be using hourly, monthly, weekly, whatever it is. Based on that, you are going to pay for this. So kind of that is the cloud where you hire a remote computing resources, okay, and you have to pay for it. That's the simplest explanation. Now, what is the DevOps? So DevOps in general is also a very vast concept where mainly you have a application and you need to deliver the features faster to your clients, right? Now you have to do whatever is required to make sure your application getting deployed smoothly, your features getting released faster to the clients, and to make sure that happen very fast and very secure, and in a very smooth manner. There should be a communication between the operation team, sales team, security team, development team, and management team everywhere, right? There's a full communication required. So from the developing of the solution that's required to make sure the deployment is smooth, to make sure the communication there. So like that's why it's a dev, it's in the name itself, dev and ops. So development and operations. So both combine, you deliver a solution that's getting deployed smoothly. You have like whatever is required to make sure that our changes, our release getting faster. I will say that's part of DevOps. That's why I'm saying DevOps is very vast. You suppose you ask 10 people, 10 people going to give you 10 different definition of what DevOps is. But in general, whatever required to make sure your deployments, your code getting deployed faster, you have security, you have communication for the team to make sure everything happening as per the requirement is part of DevOps. So cloud is kind of I will say cloud is separate and DevOps separate, but those are very deeply linked. And I say I think one statement, then there is no cloud without DevOps and no DevOps without cloud. Previously could have a different thing, but now in the modern world where people are highly migrating to the cloud, like people were running on premise, but they're running out of the the compute, they're running out of the storage. They might like get new resources, but that's very costly. So they can reduce their cost just migrating to the cloud and make sure that they efficiently configure. Otherwise, if they over provision, they may end up paying more than what they're paying their local, I mean their offline or say on-premise setup. So there should be properly configured, properly scalable kind of solution need to be there in the cloud. So in general, cloud is there, but to make sure whatever in cloud, development is also very vast or very speedy development happening, right? So make sure that deployment happening properly. There are, you might dynamically provision things. So that also product DevOps to make sure that one product suddenly needed very like happening very much traffic, and there you need auto scaling. And while auto scaling happening, you need to make sure that all the instances or all the application copies that you're running, make sure all are in the same version. Suppose some may changes happen suddenly, okay, you are running 100 say copies of your solution. The deployment need to be deployed, I mean the changes need to be deployed to all these 100 copies of your application, right? There come the DevOps. So the more you scale, the more you feel there is a requirement of DevOps. If you're on premise, there also sometimes you need to make sure dynamically you're adding user, you're adding you are optimizing your storage, a lot of things. So that's also part of DevOps. So everything now you guys do. There are countless DevOps tools available for your use cases. We'll be covering all that. If I talk about that, it will be the like I'm talking and talking on that. So we'll be speaking about all that in my upcoming session anyway. Okay. So Yes, after the strong basics, there come the. Okay, let me stay here. Okay, yeah. So strong after strong basics, you need the sufficient programming. Now, why the programming is required? Someone say that I want to be cloud engineer or I want to be DevOps engineer. Why there is a requirement of this kind of programming language? Be it Python, be it Go, be it Java. Like I'm choosing Python because Python is very easy to learn, and not just that. In DevOps use cases, Python, like many projects I've seen Python's getting their primary choice. Even some projects there are some confusion between should we go for the Go language or Python. But then we look for okay what the team understand more. Team have the more flexibility or team has the more understanding of it belonging to Python. That's why I choose Python for this course, and you'll see a lot of opportunities is there if you know Python. You will get opportunity in DevOps as well. Okay, now why come before that what I'm going to cover. So in Python again, I will assume that you guys know nothing whoever are going to learn, and I will start from the basic syntaxes. I will explain about the keywords, the say the for loops, the variables, the scopes. Then there is the how to install like different packages, how to manage the version of the packages, how to manage different Python version. That is very important as a DevOps engineer, I would say, as a cloud engineer. So those thing I will explain. One question I think is there, that is the DSA is required. I will say just like any program, any position or anywhere, DSA is required till you get a job. So to get a job, you might. I mean, in DevOps, very. I will not say that much of requirement I see in different interviews the DSA, but if you are going to go for a position that is heavily on the programming side, then maybe DSA is required. Again, just you need to pass the interview. After the interview, there will be no such practical use cases of this DSA. Okay. One question is there that let me add that. Okay, so level of Python programming we need in DevOps. I mean, do we need to go through a dev as to learn? No, even I'm not going to teach the DSA because in uh, in in DevOps or cloud, I mean, for as a cloud DevOps kind of thing, I didn't find any practical example or requirement of a DSA. I never. I'm giving in these many interviews, right? Never ever the interviewer asked me any question around DSA. So this is uh, kind of required for big companies. If you want Google, Apple, those kind of companies, of course, even for the project manager position, they will ask you for the DSA, right? So that's why. Give me a moment. Oh, so in that case, I mean, big companies or say the Fang, Mang, those kind of companies, you need DevOps, you need DSA for any position for technology, not just DevOps. But other normal or large farms, there is unlikely of having a DSA round. Okay, so I will say you don't actually need much of a DSA for your DevOps career, progression. Okay, but yeah, if you have a aim to go for the top companies, Google and as I said, Google, Amazon, those company, DSA is an absolute requirement. That's what I can say. So yeah, how much level of knowledge you need? You should have a knowledge to build basic applications, at least the web part. You should have the knowledge of building basics APIs in say uh, Django or this Flask. You should have those kind of basic knowledge because you might be tasked with deploying such web application in future, right? If you don't ever build or run this kind of application, it will be hard for you. So that's why you need to have basic understanding, of course, all the basic syntaxes, loops, logic buildings, and all that, and then building basic applications and hosting the application in say normal cloud instances, EC2 or such, or maybe ECAs or Kubernetes like containerize and then run it everywhere that you like. So up to that knowledge you will need. Okay, so that's why I'll be including different kind of projects. So what kind of projects we will have in the Python? I think that one of the question I get many times. So there are going to be six projects choices you will have. First project is the Uh, say I'll share you anyway later on. So first project will be on the basics API development, so CRUD application. Second project choice you might have socket application, so mainly socket communication. Third project will have basic e-commerce. So for Python, do we need any prerequisite? If you have some programming experience, it would have been better, but you don't need. If you don't have, it's fine. Anyway, I'm going to start from the basic zero, right? So it's okay if you don't have any. So um I will say that if it's a good that if you had any C, C plus plus those thing in the college life, like I had that kind of, even if I don't say, those kind of play a very good role for logic building blocks in my brain. It helped me build the logics at that point of time. Even though if you give me C programming now, I might run away because I'm not that so good at. I mean, not so good. I'm not that fond of C, okay, or C plus plus kind of thing. I am more like on the Python, JavaScript, and all that. Okay, that too. If you just ask me that, sir, do it immediately, I'll be not able to, because if you work with so many things, your mind is like always need to focus first. If you do want to one particular thing, be it cloud, be it anything. So I need at least 20-30 minutes of time to recollect all my sort of mindset and then get started. Then I can do it very easy. But I need that buffering time. Otherwise, it will be hard for me. I think many are there who is just like me, need some time to grasp things and then like kuch bhi kar denge, that kind of thing. Okay. Okay. Now that is okay. Now, why is the programming like? You understand what are the things I want to cover in the Python. So project part, I think first I covered. Then you will have some profile building or resume making kind of thing, kind of static deployment, like static site generation in Python, that I'm going to show. Other two are kind of one is there that I think I did on Python. This web part, you can make dynamic kind of dynamic blocks. Those I have example I will show, and the final one is the like interacting with the different services using Boto3 and all. So those I'm going to cover in Python. Okay, total 6 projects are there. I'm going to give more details when I come to that page. I have to make sure the code are ready. I will not give the code directly. First, you guys will try something. I will see some good results that where you are facing. You should tell me. Anyway, the code and everything will be available. So if you ultimately can't, of course, the project, all the codes will be available in different Git repos. There will get it. Okay, but you should try that first yourself, then only you should look at the solution. Okay, I know, like even I was also, when learning, I directly jumped to solution. I didn't go through this building part. Then I found the problem later on. I had issues in building those kind of logics. Should have listened to the instructor, gone through one by one. I had to make a shortcut, that didn't work. So shortcut didn't work in the learning. You have to learn very deeply. Okay, so after the Python is done, then now you have code, right? You learn programming, you learn the basics of the cloud. Then you have this kind of project in your hand, whatever project you choose. So whatever project you build, you need to run in the cloud. But before that, I want to teach you how to, like, first the virtualization I want to cover, because in the cloud also, if you're in the cloud already, you might know you are running on the guest OS, okay, or maybe dedicated OS, but we are kind of shared environment. You are running our applications. So, and there is a big role playing for the virtualization. So if you don't know the virtualization well, you will have hard time understanding how the virtual CPUs, virtual storage are working. So virtualization, I want to teach very detailed way. Okay, so I will first teach the virtualization very detailed, and then the second week, first week will be virtualization, and the second week will be on the continuation. So whatever project you build on the Python, and see, this is a 1 week gap is there, right? While I teach you the virtualization, in that week, if you have any kind of doubts in your project and all that, like the previous Python one, I will definitely help you solving and all that. For the PM member, of course, I will be directly helping them. For the free members via my YouTube channel, there I will try to help as far as if you just comment or maybe reach out to my LinkedIn or by email, I will try to help as much as possible. Might not be able to help everyone, but whoever I'm helping, or if someone able to do that really well, please do help others. Okay, that's how your knowledge will grow, and maybe the person helping you are helping out, that person will also grow. Okay, so that's why. Um, uh, Okay, one question I will come later on. So yeah, so first week, that month, the first week I will cover the virtualization, and then second the continuation of whatever application you are building. Your task will be to containerize that and run it. Okay, that will cover. Of course, I will show you how to make Docker file, how the Docker Compose work, how you can make Docker Swarm, and all those kind of like Docker related thing. I will teach you as much as possible. Okay, that's the goal. Then after the like you understand the basics programming and the configuration, next is the cloud. Now in the cloud I'm choosing AWS because of course I have a bit of mastery over the AWS. I'm working in AWS most of my time from last 5 6 years, so that's why I'm going to cover the AWS. And see, once you have one cloud very good knowledge, it's very easy to learn other cloud as well. You make your own mental model, then that way suppose in EC you have AWS EC2 that you use for running the instances. Similarly in Azure you have compute instances or Google Earth instances. Those kind of thing will map. Similar kind of, say here you have security, the term could be security group. Maybe in say Azure it's firewall, uh, GCP it's something. So whatever it is, those kind of mapping you can easily do if you understand one cloud very well. That's why in AWS I'm going to cover you all the basics. Basic you understand, right? So basics in the sense, uh, this kind of compute, storage, networking, security. So that's a category we're going to cover in the cloud. Okay, in the cloud we're going to cover EC2 instances, security, security groups, then the VPC, storage, RDS, S3, EFS, for example, the storage, if EBS, EFS. So whatever in AWS you need to learn to make sure that in if you after the course you go to work for a normal company or maybe interview, whatever they ask, you should have a bigger understanding or deeper understanding what it is, and you already have some practical idea. That's why. And of course I want to, after as soon as this cloud part 4 week, so maybe 1 to 2 week I'm going to cover all the basics and even advanced parts of the AWS. Of course, don't think you're going to learn AWS just 1 month. Even I teach you, you have to understand that you have to practice. You have to prepare for certifications. There is a long journey. I cannot like install what I know in your brains, right? So you have to keep experimenting. Even after, see, this kind of basics you learn, again these are the basic you're learning, then you have to apply all this kind of learning in Jenkins. We're going to install a Jenkins server in a EC2, configure it. Then we're going to add slave node, not slave, sorry, agent node, because slave is now banned kind of thing. Agent nodes, then run different your you can you want to do CI/CD for your Python project that you build. So those things we're going to do. So you have to learn this cloud part very very carefully, and make sure you do hands-on. That's very important. If you don't do hands-on, just hide the basics, you will forget. So don't forget, practice, it will be very helpful. Okay, so anyway, in cloud I'm going to cover all the basics and some advanced parts. That's whatever is required to keep you or maybe now in a way to make sure that you able to do the projects or the tasks that you're going to get in the future. Those kind of knowledge I will try to convey in the cloud part. Okay, now after that it will be 2 weeks on the CI/CD. First week I want to be like basic installation, configuration. Again, is running in Java, but you don't need to learn Java. Just run the things I'm going to teach in the Jenkins configuration parts. Some configuration you will see I might be using some language specific things, but that's okay. That thing you can handle. Okay, and of course after in the second week going to be a bit advanced, and of course deployment of this whatever project you build in your Python, that going to deploy in the Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins to where? In the cloud. In the cloud, if you have ECD instance, so there via CI/CD we're going to deploy to the cloud. That's why cloud, we'll be practicing cloud a lot of ways in rest of the contents or rest of the course. That's why I am teaching the cloud first. Okay, so yeah, basics Jenkins and advanced Jenkins plus the project that you already built that are going to deploy in the Jenkins. Okay, so those kind of thing we're going to cover. Now let's answer some question. I think okay, yeah, this is recorded, so I mean let me make it big. Yeah, this is recorded, you will watch anytime, because this session is more about understand what I'm going to teach, understand where maybe you are more interested, or you have any questions, ask me now. Those kind of reason these things I'm going through. Okay, and I want to make it very quick. I know today is 1st Jan, you want to go out. Okay, I also have to go out with my family later on, so I'll be very quick, don't worry. But I want to explain what I want to teach and why I'm teaching is why it's required. Okay, why now you understand, right? Why this one is required, that whatever application you have or you might get in your for your client or your employer, you need to make a build and deploy this, right? That's why you need to understand the Jenkins part as an open source tool. Anyway, cloud also have some tools. I'm going to discuss those while teaching you like AWS part. Okay, like code pipeline, code build, code deploy, those kind of things. Okay, I will explain in it's a 4 week, right? So we'll have time. In I have a plan actually on first 1 week on the basics part, for second 2 week on the advanced part, and the third on the DevOps or say AWS DevOps one, and the fourth week the project that is the Moto 3. Okay, so that's my plan. That's why it's a 4 week plan. Okay. Um, so yeah, then Jenkins, then you have Ansible. Ansible, see, whatever you're learning in the cloud, or maybe how to even configure the Jenkins or any other, even how to configure Jenkins by Ansible, that also I've covered. So it's going to be a bonus. Okay. So yeah, in Ansible, because of the vastness of the Ansible, and I want to first week I want to explain about the basics of the Ansible. Second week, anyway, I know many may ask, sir, you already have courses on YouTube, then why again you're teaching? The thing you see that that course I did 2 3 years back, I think, if I remember right, and during this span, so many things changed. Okay, and I think advanced version, I think I didn't even released. So that's why I want to make sure this time when I'm doing this Ansible chapter, there is a 4 week. So first week we're going to go through a very detailed, like very basics, all the ad hoc commands, all the basic libraries that come with the Ansible. Then how to how to build custom Ansible modules, how to build custom modules that you can share with the world. Those all things I want to cover. Okay, very clearly I want to explain, and I want you guys to also build those, because those are the things that matters. Okay, it's not just a basic Ansible, some shutdown or some basics software installation. That's not the limitation. It doesn't has any kind of limitation. If you even read the Jignesh book, I mean, I didn't able to complete. He was, I think, his manager is asking to write a review, and I don't want to review until unless I complete the entire things. Okay, and his course is so detailed. I mean, his book, not his course. He have a book, I think, Practical Ansible. That is, I think, now upper sale. Maybe I will share a link with LinkedIn. Let me just give you more. Say I'm going like kind of finish. I will say 20 30% remaining in the book. I'm going to write a detailed review on that. That book is very good example. So I'm just saying as a reference that Ansible, like you have limitless possibilities if you want to truly try or not. Okay, but main configuration, it's a thing that you can configure a lot of compute resources, installing different software, uninstalling softwares, adding, pushing some files, retrieving files, a lot of things you can do. Okay, that's why it's very important. So mainly a configuration management tool, you can say configuration code for the Ansible. Very very important in practical world, because I have seen many projects, many mentees are actually working in Ansible. They're coming to me different question, answering them, most of them at least. I'm also learning different ways. So that's why Ansible, I want to do give very much focused. It's a 4 week plan. First week basic, second week advanced, third week it's more of a advanced use cases with different cloud, and fourth week is the project week. Okay. One question is that it's her saying, will you learn Python from scratch? Oh, yeah, Python from scratch. Okay, that's why it's 4 week, right? My daughter is watching. Okay. Is this course free or paid? Nikhil said, it's, as I say, course is completely free. It's about the focus. Only I can focus on limited people. So that's why the paid will be a different class and free will be on the YouTube. So mainly some most paid people face some problems, they have some doubts, they can ask me directly. I'll be helping them directly, giving mentoring one to one. That is why the paid one. Okay. Content wise, course wise, I want to make sure everybody should learn, should be learning and getting jobs, and like that's my goal. Okay. Because I can, my focus is limited, that's why it's only limited 10 slot which already sold out. So I cannot do much on that. Okay. So yeah, course is, you can see, free, but the focus is a paid one. That's why I think that's a paid part. It only limited people. Okay. And I know, already there are around 80% who's like, after the slot filled, 80%, you're not the only one. Okay. 80 people, more than 80 people say they want to join paid and ask me to increase slot. But the practicality, I don't have that much time. I do on the week, I mean, normal weekdays I do project. On the weekends only I'm going to, do these courses. And of course, you understand that course content I'm started making from last 3 months back. Now also I'm making the content. So that's why it's not possible. I have to do all this, right? Okay. In DevOps, which part have more chances single point of failure? I will say it's your budget, because if you have endless budget, you can of course do a lot of stuff. But the moment you have to understand that we have budget limitations. We can do only the stuff that is limited as per budget. Suppose you have auto scaling of, say, from for the, say, instance part. Okay, you have EC2 instance or a compute instance. You can scale, you have the budget of scaling from 1 to 100, for example. Now any workload came that you're up to 100 you will not support. That's the point of failure. If you have, say, can have 1,000 or 2,000 to budget, then the chances of failure is unlikely. So everything going to fail at a point of time. You are just deferring that failure via different mechanisms. Okay. So yeah, if you say single point of failure, I will say it could be anything. But the focus will be, of course, there should not be. Because, for example, someone say, if you run one instance in one availability zone, that's a point of failure. Okay. Okay. If someone tell me, then the suggestion is that in at least 2 or 3 region, not region, 3 availability zone, you need at least one instances. That means you have to run 2 instances all the time minimum, right? So your basic budget getting doubled, isn't it? So all the resource allocation, everything is budget oriented. The more budget you have, the less chances of failure point will be there. The less budget you have to make some sacrifices for your application. That you have to understand really well. Cost is very important for the cloud and DevOps projects. That you have to understand. I'll be teaching that very detailed way while for the cloud part or different phases of the course. I'll be explaining that as well. So yeah, another chances of failure will be most cases. What happens, it's the DBs are the if you don't have a DB that's hosted on normal instance or normal somewhere, if something happened, maybe that instance need to be updated, or maybe that particular instance got corrupted, or the storage got corrupted, or could be someone deleted it, it's a failure. So you have to make sure you have a copy of the data. It's one of a disaster recovery thing. You should have that in the mind. So of course there will be different point of failure in different phases of your application state. You need to make sure you have a disaster recovery mechanism in place. Okay. Some also said that another point of failure is security, but security part is important, but very hard to find out every single pinpoint. I mean, you were going to put everything that in place. still there might be some gaps. So but try to do as much security possible, like select limiting, encrypting your secure things, encrypting your documents and all that. So those things are there. So mainly I have seen four part of single failure, and that's also come to the basics. Compute, if you have budget, you have low budget, so low compute. Then have to think about some kind of either maybe serverless technologies or maybe on off mechanism. So those kind of thing for the compute. Then for the storage, you might have different copies. So if you want to make different copy of the storage, again, if you have budget, you can store different copies. If you have limited budget, you can store limited copies all the time. For the even say for backups also, you can if you have budget, you can store for even 30 days. If you have very low budget, you can maybe keep your backup till 7 days or 8 days. So everything you see coming to the budget in practical world. Okay, everywhere you see. I think I'm going to give entire class on this budget and all this single point of failure. Okay. Prakash said that, sir, can you ask a doubt or any error? See, I mean, that's why. See, LinkedIn, I was inactive for last few months, I will say, for many reasons. What could be, I'm just improving my health, then family, then, course content making and a lot of things. But now the focus is like next 8 months going to be helping you guys out. Do help as much as possible. Do like I may not be able to help every single person in the world, but at least I will try to make my suppose one common question is coming to me. I will make a even different separate post or different article on this particular problem. So 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 that's the thing. Okay, I will definitely help. Just ask it. If I notice it, I will definitely answer. That's what I'm coming at. So does certification required, because certification fee is much more. Yeah. So certification is required in the sense, what happening, many people out there. Suppose you are, I mean, a very practical example. You go for an interview. 10 out of 10 people, 8 have certification and have good knowledge. I'm just saying, you have very good knowledge, you are lacking certification. So you see that 8 people might get edge over you. And I'm calling 8 people because I've seen so many people already certified. So even if you say it's costly, because of the need, you might get to have one. Like that has become a basic norm. You see different job posts, once certification is required for the cloud and DevOps in general, right? So you might need at least one certification. I'm not telling you, see, there are certificated legends out there, 10, 20 certification. I'm not against it, but I'm not for it also. I mean, if your company offering you 124, you have, that thing is okay. But you have to see that people out there who don't have budget, where the company is not offering, they somewhere might have a feeling of getting out of the race. But you see, this is a rat race, and there is a rat race that is, you don't actually making a value of anything. Of course, some people are there, are exception, who have certification, like Walter Lee. I will say, I'm openly saying the name also. Walter Lee, Yujuan, even my friend Chirag, they had a requirement. Okay, uh, they can do, and their companies most of the time also giving certification. That's fine, but there are many also where certification is like they're not even utilizing that, but just flaunting off. And flaunting off also not a bad also. If you are doing certification, yes, do share on LinkedIn, Twitter. I will say every damn thing that you have in your palm to do that, do it, because that way might give you a better opportunities. Okay, so do that. What I'm coming at that, you don't need to do all the certification you have in the world to do. You don't require. Just do the minimum base required. For example, this you're in the DevOps field, like suppose you want to come in DevOps field, then AWS DevOps professional might be a very good certification choice. Suppose you're in the security, maybe you're more of a DevSecOps guy. So then DevOps certification plus security specialty certificate will give you much more value. Suppose you're a DevOps guy with some database kind of so you should go for the data one, data specialty. So I'm saying that wherever your core interest lies, only do that certificate and don't do every single thing. Of course, if you have a limited budget, then you should mind it, right? You don't see that these people have all the certification, I'm lacking out. No, you are not lacking out. You just don't have a requirement. That's why whatever basic certification I require, I did it. Then I am not doing certification because I don't have requirement. If someone say that this certification giving you $2 lakh, $3 lakh, that's wrong thing. Everybody in the world not getting it. Very few people in the world with very good experience. You see, they are getting that much because of the experience, not because of certification. Certification just to prove of their knowledge. That's why I'm coming. Don't fall for the certification trap. Just do bare minimum required. That should be more than enough. Just to give you an edge for the interview. After that, anyway, they even APN partner, that's a different thing because they have to show the number of certificate to get different migration project. But for the real life world, different companies just for the interview gateway, you can say gate, they need the certification. After that, there is nothing. Okay. One more question in Python. Current, I'm Python developer. Current work in data center project, networking switching, knowledge, basic AWS, Linux, sales scripting. Now planning to DevOps. Is it a good decision? Yes, very good. I mean, you have a programming background. You have quite a good skills. You should go for the DevOps. You have a scope. Definitely. Okay, I'm going to just bit cover of the next part that I'm going to cover. Next part is that infrastructure as a code. I mean, of course, for I think if you go to my channel, first thing you see is this basic Terraform course, right? Now, what I'm going to cover this time. Again, Terraform, that time when I did the course, it's 2 year back, right? Now, today's time, a lot of things changed. A lot of option got depreciated. A lot of option got added, and I also learned quite a few tricks, tips, and everything, right? While working on many kind of projects. So those all things I want to share in this course. Again, if you see, it's a 4 week course, and that's has a meaning. First week, of course, you guys know it's all basics. Second week, it's going to be a bit advanced concept and advanced things I'm going to teach you. Maybe switching, multiple version switching, uh, maybe some other providers configuration, all that. And in the third week, I'm going to cover with the some projects, and the fifth week I'm going to show some special use cases. Okay, so that's the planning of the infrastructure and Terraform part. So again, there are courses which are very good one, to be honest. And this course, oh my god, that's so good. My one is actually 2 hour because I don't have that much time, so I make course like people don't have much time. I want to quickly go through it, remember something for those kind of people. But this one going to be a very deep course for the infrastructure code. Even though it's not a four, going to be a kind of 14 hour. It's only maybe if you see 6 hour ultimately, because 1 week 2 3, or second week 2 3, then other specialty things. But around 5 to 6 hours content for the Terraform core Terraform thing. Then the advanced and project base. That's my planning there. Um, then you have the, I think one of the right now in the market, one of the hottest topic or skill that will fetch you a very good amount, like very good job with a high paying amount, is Kubernetes, undoubtedly. And Kubernetes, it's the things that people first of all found very hard. If they don't start from the basic, if they directly jump to very advanced things, directly jump to manifest, then they're going to see very tough. But someone first go to very basics, some installation stuff, then configuration stuff, then networking, not the networking, say hello world basics, then some application deployment, then some advanced API and all this stuff, kind of stuff, debugging and all that, then that start making sense. That's why I made it 6 week course. Think about like why other courses, I mean other topic or chapters are only 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and this one is 6 week. Because Kubernetes is very vast. Okay, and if I have to you know teach Kubernetes in a very deepest manner possible, I need to cover all the basics throughout very advanced stuff. That's why it's going to be 6 weeks. And I some request came, said can I not make it a bit 4 week or maybe 3 week. I say, see, I cannot do it. I I'm working in Kubernetes from a long time now, and there are so many things. See, in setup, then you have manifest, then you have basic spots, then services, daemon sets, stateful sets, and all. Then you have to understand all the architecture, how to run like different engine integration, and like say networking, ingress outgress, those kind of things, ingress egress, then cron job running, and see the list is so and so on, so many things to learn, and I cannot make in a slow, I cannot do in a lower week. And see, I also have to cover the helm and customize for the templating, because the more go, you will see the requirement for you have to do Kubernetes, like maintain Kubernetes configuration from multiple clients. Then you need to make sure it's a dynamic, right? That you can do only via this kind of helm or customize. There are other tools, but these tools I love the most. Okay, helm specifically, I do love the helm templating or even the packaging also. So that's why I wanted to cover this Kubernetes in 6 weeks. Of course, that also include a project in the sense you are already doing project. See, you are first developing project in Python, then you are making Docker image out of it, then you're deploying first in normal EC2 instances via the Jenkins CI/CD. But in the while we start learning about the Kubernetes, of course EKs also I'm going to, because demos are mostly going to be EKs. Basic in the first, I will show the normal Kubernetes installation, and of course setting up, running things and all everything. So anyway, whatever your project you're developing in the in the Docker, you're making image out of it, that you're going to optimize and run in this Kubernetes project at the very end, maybe fifth week or sixth week, based on where whatever we're going to we can cover in the first 4 week. I will decide on that. Okay. Okay. So this is will be the, you can say, kind of final learning chapter. I keep it in Kubernetes very end, because you should have all these ideas: Terraform, cloud, containerization, Ansible, all things you will see. I will try to use, whatever you're learning in everywhere in the courses, somewhere another getting Kubernetes or optimizing Kubernetes instances, all those kind of things I want to cover. You can say using what you're learning, okay? That will start making sense. Otherwise, you will see you're learning and you're forgetting. I don't want that to happen. Even I want to show you how to using using Terraform, how to create the Kubernetes cluster. That also I want to cover in the Kubernetes section, not in the Terraform section. I want to keep the Terraform section purely on the Terraform, but in the Kubernetes, the reason is 6 months. Of course, that's hold the weight. Okay, so there we will see all this happening. And of course, uh, after the community is done, the projects of the communities are done, the last 2 weeks of the 8th month I want to cover the interview preparation, because you learn all these things, but you need to also know how to prepare for the interviews, how to do research, how to learn more, how to even if you fail even in interviews, how to after that stand up and prepare for the next interview and pass the interviews. Those kind of further guide and I want to share. Okay. Again, the differences between the paid one I can just talk with them directly and give the mentoring one to one throughout the course. But for the free one, it's going to be via only my YouTube channel. No volume I can handle. You understand that, right? So one question actually very important. Can you make one Discord channel and community to discuss with everyone as well, so you can share resources whenever which you thought? Yeah. So there are going to be a WhatsApp group for the paid members. Okay, only whoever the paid, for them there will be WhatsApp group. For the other community members, whoever say is learning throughout this course, will have a Discord channel. I will share the link maybe tomorrow. Just take you guys after this session, go out with the family. I don't want to get any bad words from your family. You're blocking these guys, no. So after tomorrow, I will share the link, so you can, everyone who want to part of this learning journey, join the Discord group. You can ask question in the Discord group, as well as in different YouTube channel video comments whenever I'm going to release it. I mean, this will be more of a live session every week, so you can ask there. Okay, so that's there will be Discord group anyway, because sometimes what happened, chats. If it's a live session going on and chat sometimes get missed, so you can ask in the Discord group. I will definitely see and answer. Okay. Anyway, even the very good thing about Discord group, there are so many good engineers in this Discord group. Someone know the answer, so you'll definitely get it. Okay. How frequent can we expect the videos on your channel? Also, is there a Discord group? Yeah, Discord group will be there, as I say, and it's a commitment, right? So it's a weekly commitment that I'm got the payment from any, so I cannot defy there. And of course, I'm committing to this many viewers of mine, right? Like 20,000, like 23,000 plus subscriber at moment. Oh my god, I never, to be honest, personally never thought of, because I'm not a guy who is giving 100% time on the YouTube. I'm working on different projects, handling family, doing groceries, then teaching, like giving, like having a professional consultation. I stopped for a few months. I'm going to start it again maybe after a few weeks. So those kind of things I was handling. I was not giving my 100% on YouTube. Still, so many people stayed commenting, reaching out, and of course, some might find that my site is not reachable. Sorry, guys. Some revamp going on because of this course content and all that. So site going to be recreated new way. Okay, all the old contents mostly will be there. It's just refresh thing. Okay, so but some budgetary concern also there. So just wait for say 1 month, I will say, then the site will come up. Any document I share mostly will be if it's a PDF, then by the Google the drive. If it's a very detailed writing, say you need an article on so the thing if I write, they'll be on the LinkedIn as well as in the GitHub, so you can then copy the command easily. And other things, YouTube comment section is good, but maybe not good for this kind of use cases. I will see as soon as my site is up, I will share all the places, so you can just copy from any place. Okay, that kind of thing. So don't worry. um, so yeah, so weekly commitment every week. Saturday paid classes on 11 a.m. every week. Sunday 11 a.m. free classes. Okay, and that's a big commitment, to be honest. 8 month long. So I'm hoping that everyone will take this very seriously and do stay through the end of this course. I'm guaranteeing you guys, you will reach there where I want it all to be there. Okay, so you'll be there. Please, sir, make any Discord server we can solve error. And yeah, I will share. I already have a channel. I'm going to share tomorrow in my LinkedIn. I will share it. If you guys are not following on LinkedIn, do follow me in the LinkedIn. I will share in the YouTube also, in the that community section. I will do that. Okay. uh, can you create a Slack or WhatsApp? See, Slack part of, I don't able to manage the Slack, and there are many limitations there. WhatsApp again also I have to share my number there, and I'm already getting around in a day. See, even in a phone, I had in a few weeks back getting every single hour getting call. So you understand what happens, right? That's why I'm not going to do, like, except the paid members, I'm not going to do the WhatsApp group. In the Discord, you guys can all join. There you will have the direct, you can post there and have your things getting sorted. Okay. Okay. uh, can we create Discord community? Yes, Discord community is there. I'm going to share it. Everyone have the same question. How frequent can you expect the videos? I think already shared. It's going to be every week. Sunday free, Saturday paid. Mm, yes, the full course will be on the YouTube and it will stay forever. Okay, just like my all other courses on Terraform, Ansible, Jenkins, everything is going to be staying in my YouTube channel forever. Okay. Mm. If you have multiple AWS EKS cluster, how do you monitor all the EKS cluster logs? Do you have? So yeah, there is EKS container insights that I use. You also, like, not EKS, like CloudWatch container insights I use. You can go for that. But in the mind, you have to make you understand that for the EKS thing, there are humongous logs are there. Okay, so you will see the CloudWatch cost getting going up. If you are thinking about running in a in a free mode, then I also go for the Prometheus and Kibana. This what is this? Prometheus and Grafana, not Kibana. Sorry, Prometheus and Grafana. You should go for that one. Okay. See, Vineet, I know this not you. There are 80 plus more people also ready to pay. That 10 people, see, I have the human, like I'm a human, not robot, right? I think many guys think I'm a robot, but no. I have human limitations. I can kind of allocate so limited time. Again, see, I'm not running a so-called, the institute or all that, right? It's all my willingness to help out different ways, giving back more to the community as much as I can do. There are of course cost involved and everything. That's why some I do unpaid, because there is some cost involvement there. But just whatever is required, not more than that. So that's why even if it's a free one, I mean, the paid one is only limited, 10 people. Free one, I'm there. I'm going to be helping out as much as I can. But don't get any sad or any bad moment. You like there will be suppose there will be in my buy me coffee page. I'm going to open the slot for mentoring and all that. Again, not many people. Maybe only one to one kind of thing. I will want to keep it limited because of this. Things very much these days. So limited. I will open their slot. Okay, but not with the course as a mentoring one. Can you make beginner roadmap for DevOps? I think I have. You guys don't watch my LinkedIn, okay? In LinkedIn, you go Sagar, then you'll see in my article I have written two roadmaps, not one, two roadmap from very basics like where to start, what are the courses to like whatever is required is there. Okay, you can just go for that. Again, it's a starting of 2023, so I will see. I will make one new roadmap. I already have 2003. That will work, but again, I will make one. Okay, don't worry. Mm, could you please make a beginner roadmap for? Yeah, I think I will do that. I want to DevOps. You would be please help me. I know Docker. Yeah, you will learn. You will learn whatever is required. Okay, so no worries. Actually, I whatever the DevOps tutorials see in my channel mostly are on the Python or Node. So one mean stack application, I had a project. I think it might not be a public one, very basic, I will say, but maybe I will make the like basic CI/CD out of that. So that will help you. Okay. Um, what are the options to learn from you, frankly? See, offline is there, but I don't think you will stay here, right? Offline people are not coming. It's a very distant place, so that's only offline that available. Online are all gone. I just say that I'm a part of this. Good, good. Throughout a joining online bus, already seats are closed. Yes, you understand that's very already all filled up. And I tell the reason also, right? Thought of, okay, Syed Ali, could you please suggest us DevOps project? See, in this, uh, course itself, I mean, I told you so many, like five, six projects I've told you, right? So those are the good projects to start. You can just like, I told the projects where you can start. Another very good place to find the projects ideas, okay? Go to freelancing sites like freelancer.com, Upwork, and all that. There you go and see the requirements, see the project what they want to build. Why not you try to build that yourself as a practice? That will be the most nearer to kind of practical project demos, right? You can build those will be helpful, right? Anyway, I'm going to build show and all that. You'll find many out there as well, but there, I mean, I'm suggesting to that to another kind of paid member. I had a session one to one with him, and I was saying the same thing to him as well. And his point also very good that if I'm stuck, he's getting stuck, is very hard. Like that's fine. You get stuck, you search about it. That's how we'll also learn, right? We get stuck, we search, we find solution, we keep failing and failing till like we try out the tweaking the ideas and it click and work. So like, that's how you have to start and fix it. Okay. Anyway, I mean, in this training course also there will be projects, you can follow that on also. Okay, I think I've covered the most of the things what I'm going to cover, and what you guys will be learning. Like I covered and break everything. Anyway, a detailed, point by point things. The thing is, I'm taking different suggestions. I'm improving the content list also. So that's why I'm yet hesitant to share the entire every single point list. Okay, that's why even today also I wanted to make it a very vague one. Um, One question, that how can you suggest a guide the roadmap to L2 application support in the cloud engineer skills required or anything to learn? See, the things you see here, all these things all are required for as a cloud engineer. Maybe you can skip out the Kubernetes part, but till the this Terraform part, everything is required. Okay, this Ajay for your question only. So that's what I'm saying. And this basics, so Linux scripting, programming, Python, Go, those kind of things. Then you have containerization, AWS or any cloud in general, the CI/CD or Jenkins, then this Ansible, infrastructure code, all things required for a cloud engineer positions. Actually, I made one very good document on the position and the skills required. Maybe today I will see. I'll see if possible. I will share that today, but maybe my post going to be get overflowed by the Happy New Year welcome wishes. So I might not. I will see if I release, but maybe not able to. Many people will not see. Either today or tomorrow I will release that role wise requirement of the skills. Okay, I'll share that one. One question from Nandi. How do you select it? I didn't select it, guy. I opened the slot. I asked repeatedly whoever want to join the paid one, join there, and whoever interested, like within 2 3 days, I think all 10 got slots got filled. Even offline one, people also they moved to the online one. I couldn't do anything there. There is long distance, so what I can do. Okay. So again, thank you guys. I know it's a fast Jan. Still, this many people are still live, which is I'm overjoyed to see that. And with interest, you guys seen it. You asked the question. Happy New Year, of course, Shomo and everyone. Very happy New Year, and see it's going to be a learning year this year. So let's learn. Let's get good opportunities. Let's help each other out. Let's make the. Let's make a community out of it and make it big. That's the goal, right? Okay. Okay, guys. So bye and have a nice day. Enjoy with your family. Bye.